Did you know that the bacteria living in your gut right now can actually influence how well your body responds to vaccines? It sounds wild, right? But it's true. And cutting edge research happening right now is proving it. Here's the even more exciting part. A Canadian university is looking for two master students to research exactly this, the connection between your gut microbe biome, what you eat, and your immune systems. Fully funded starting from September 2026, and the supervisor, she is trained at the Max Planck Institute in Germany, one of the most prestigious research institutions on the entire planet. Two positions, two different project tracks, bioinformatics or experimental microbiology, and both are open to international applicants. I am from Scholarship. On this channel, I hunt down fully funded research and scholarship opportunities so you don't have to. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now. Let's break this down completely. Okay. Before we get into this opportunity itself, let me give you just a little context on why this research area is so exciting right now. Because I think it'll make you appreciate how cool these positions actually are. Your gut is home to trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, collectively called the gut microbiome. Scientists have known about these microbes for decades, but only in the last 10 to 15 years have we started to understand just how deeply they influence our health. Okay, not just digestion, not just gut health in the obvious sense. We are talking about immune function, brain function, mental health, metabolism, and this is the really fascinating part, how your body responds to vaccines. Think about that. Two people receive the same vaccine. One person develops long lasting immunity, and the other person's immune response is weaker, just like the COVID ones, right? Why? Researchers are finding that differences in the gut microbiome, shaped by what we eat, where we live, and what we have been exposed to, may play a major role. And diet is at the center of it all. What we eat shapes which bacteria thrive in our gut. Those bacteria shape our immune system. Our immune system shapes how we respond to infection, inflammation, and vaccination. This is not French science. This is one of the fastest growing fields in all of biomedicine. And the Huus Lab at the University of Ottawa is right at the frontier of it. If you have a background in microbiology, immunology, nutrition, bioinformatics, or any related field, this opportunity was practically made for you. Okay, let me tell you about the supervisor, Dr. Kelsey Huus. Because her background is genuinely impressive, Dr. Huus did her PhD in microbiology and immunology at the University of British Columbia, one of Canada's top research universities. Her doctoral work with Professor Brett Finlay focused on the role of microbiome and immune interaction in child undernutrition. That is important, real world science. After her PhD, she joined the Max Planck Institute for Biology in Germany as a postdoctoral researcher, working with Professor Ruth Ley, one of the world's leading microbiome scientists at the Max Planck Institute. Dr. Huus established and led a study called the microheat study, a study on diet microbiome interactions and human vaccine response. This study is directly connected to what the students in this lab will be working on. Okay, she is now back in Canada as an assistant professor at the University of Ottawa's School of Nutrition Science, and she is a Canada Research Chair Tier 2 candidate, which is a highly competitive national designation given to exceptional early career researchers. In other words, you will be supervised by someone who has been trained by world leaders, who has published real science, who has led her own independent research, and who is now building a brand new lab. This is the ideal moment to join a lab. You get in the ground level with a motivated, highly qualified supervisor who has everything to gain from your success and who has a stated commitment to supporting you and helping you grow an independent scientist. The Huus Lab has a track record of completed theses and publications by trainees. Dr. Huus herself says she believes in supporting students to develop as independent scientists and is committed to building a diverse, inclusive, collaborative research group. Those aren't just words, that's a supervisor who actually cares. Okay. So let's get into the actual project. There are two MSc positions and they have different focuses. Let me walk you through both. Okay, project number 1 has a computational and bioinformatics focus. Here's what you'll be doing. This project will use existing human microbiome data sets, both published data from the scientific literature and unpublished data from the Huus Lab's own research, to uncover association between intestinal microbe diet and human inflammatory reactions, particularly in the context of vaccination. Let me break that down simply. The human gut microbiome has been studied in thousands of people across the world. All of that data, which bacteria present, how many, in what combinations, exist in database. Your job as a computational researcher is to dig into that data, analyze it, find patterns, and connect those patterns to what people ate and how their immune systems responded to vaccines. This is bioinformatics. You work with code, typical Python or R, to process and analyze large biological data sets. You don't need to run laboratory experiments for this project, though mixing in some experimental work is welcome if you're interested. If you love data, love coding, love biology, and want to do science that could actually influence how we design vaccination programs for people with different dietary habits around the world, then this is an extraordinary project. The skills that will make you strong candidate: experience with Python or R, familiarity with bioinformatics tools or pipelines like QIIME2, experience analyzing microbiome or genomic data, and a strong background in microbiology, immunology, or computational biology. If you're a biology student who taught yourself to code, or a computer science student who wants to work on real human health problems, then this project is the perfect intersection. Project number 2 has an experimental and microbiology focus. This project is about a bacterium called Waltera, Waltera, and here's something that immediately makes this exciting. Waltera is a recently described species. That means this is genuinely new science. We are still learning what this bacterium does, how it behaves, and why it matters. What we do know and what makes this particularly interesting is that Volterra thrives in the presence of dietary food additives. You know, the preservatives, emulsifiers, and artificial ingredients found in ultra-processed foods? Volterra likes those, and that raises some very important questions for human health, because ultra-processed foods consumption is increasingly globally, and so are rates of inflammatory diseases. Your job in this project will be to characterize Volterra, to study it in the lab, understand its biology, and specifically investigate how it regulates the production of pro-inflammatory flagella in response to diet. What are flagella? They are like tiny tails that some bacteria use to move, but in the context of immune system, bacteria flagella also acts as a signal. They trigger inflammatory response in the gut. So if Volterra produces some flagella when it's fed certain food additives, that could be contributing to gut inflammation in people who eat highly processed diets. That's a significant finding with real public health implication. This is hands-on bench science. You will culture bacteria, run experiments, use molecular biology techniques, and generate original data. If you love being in the lab, working with your hands, seeing results come to life, this project is for you. Strong candidates will have background in microbiology, molecular biology, biochemistry, and lab experiments from the undergrad degree. Even projects or thesis work counts. Let me tell you a little about where you would actually be living and working, because Ottawa is generally a wonderful place to be a graduate student. The University of Ottawa, uOttawa, is one of Canada's leading research universities. It has a very unique character. It is the world's largest bilingual French-English university. If you speak both languages or want to improve your French, Ottawa is an extraordinary place to do it. But English alone is absolutely fine. The research environment and the lab operate in English. The university is located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada's capital city. Ottawa is consistently ranked one of the most livable cities in Canada. It has a lower cost of living than Toronto, Vancouver. It's clean, safe, beautifully situated on the Ottawa River, and has incredible outdoor spaces, including the Rideau Canal, which becomes the world's largest skating rink every winter. Ottawa is also a city of researchers and scientists. It has a thriving tech and biomedical research sector, with proximity to federal government, science agencies, research hospitals, and innovation hubs. Your professional network in Ottawa can open doors in both academia and industry, and as a graduate student in Canada, you'll be in one of the world's most immigration-friendly countries. Canadian master's degree opens strong pathways to post-graduation work permits and permanent residency. The School of Nutrition Sciences, uOttawa, specifically has excellent resources in both nutrition and biomedical sciences, meaning you'll have access to cutting-edge equipment, database, and a community of researchers working on overlapping and complementary topics. This is a win-win opportunity in every sense of the word. Now let's address funding, because I know this is what many of you want to know. These positions are described as fully funded in the Canadian graduate school context. That means your tuition is covered and you receive a research stipend, a living allowance paid to you by the supervisor or the university while you complete your degree. MSc stipends in Canada in science and health fields typically range from around 18,000 to 25,000 Canadian dollars, okay, per year, sometimes higher depending on the supervisor's grants and any additional scholarships you receive. I would strongly recommend emailing Dr. Huus directly to ask about the specific funding package, and I'll show you exactly how to do that in a moment. In addition to the stipend, as a fully funded student, your tuition fees are typically covered or offset, so you're not paying out of pocket for your degree. There is also the possibility of extending your MSc into PhD, which would mean continued funding for several more years, deeper research involvement, and doctoral degree from a Canadian university. This is a serious long-term opportunity if you're considering an academic or research career. And importantly, the lab explicitly welcomes mixing and matching between bioinformatics and experimental work and encourages collaboration between two new students. So if you are recruited into this lab, you won't be working in isolation. You'll be having a lab partner, a supportive supervisor, and a genuine research community around you. So who should apply? Let me be clear, these are open to international applicants. You do not need to be a Canadian. Applications from around the world are welcome for both positions. You should have a bachelor's degree or be near completion of one in the relevant field. Relevant fields include microbiology, immunology, nutrition, biochemistry, molecular biology, bioinformatics, computational biology, data science, or any closely related area. For project 1, the computational project, computational skills are essential. Experience with Python, R, or bioinformatics pipelines is a strong advantage. You should be comfortable working with large data sets and have a genuine interest in applying data science to biological problems. For project 2, the experimental project, lab experience is important. So if you have done a thesis, honors project, or even summer research with hands-on microbiology or molecular biology techniques, that counts. Tissue culture, PCR, bacterial culturing, microscopy, and any of these are relevant. And here's something I want to emphasize. Dr. Huus has specifically stated a commitment to building a diverse and inclusive lab. She has experience mentoring students from undergrad throughout her PhD. She is not looking for perfect applicants with 10 publications. She's looking for motivated, curious, hardworking students who want to grow as scientists. If that's you, please apply. You do not need to be the top student in your class. You need to be genuinely excited about the science and ready to work hard. So how do you apply? This one is refreshingly simple. Step 1, prepare your CV. Should be in English, well formatted. Highlight your education, research experience, lab skills, any publications or presentations, and any relevant coursework. Keep it 2 pages if possible. Step 2, write a brief email explaining your interests and qualifications. This is not a full formal cover letter, but don't be too casual either. I'll give you tips on what to write in a moment. Step 3, send both documents, your CV and your email, to uOttawa.ca. The email address is given in the application in the description, so you can look for it. There's no specific application form, no portal, no fee. It is a direct email to the supervisor. This is how most Canadian lab-based MSc positions work. The advantage is that it's fast and personal. The challenge is that your email has to stand out. No formal deadline is listed, but positions like this fill up quickly, especially for fall 2026 start. If you are interested, do not wait. Send your email this week. The earlier you reach out, the better your chances of getting an interview before the spots are filled. Let me give you 3 specific tips for your application email, because this is what will make or break your chances. Tip number 1, be specific, okay, about the project. Tip number 2, connect your background